This has been one crazy week for your favorite coach. And I know, I believe I missed out on giving you guys your episode of Blow the Whistle with your host, Coach Walker. Guys, we got a lot to cover in this episode. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is going to be fun. So I hope everybody is ready. Get your, like I tell you all the time, get your popcorn ready. Get your snacks, get your pillow, get your cover. You know, if you're going to watch this around the time, breakfast going down, make sure you got your breakfast, your lunch, or better yet, if you got your wine or your beer, your soda, whatever it is that you need to get you by while you sit back and watch this. Y'all make sure y'all got all of that in your hands. Y'all prepared and ready to rock and roll with this thing. Strap on in, because your favorite coach is back in his air chair. And he's going to go ahead and get back at this thing one more time because I know y'all like, Coach, what's going on with you? I'm going to be honest with you. I got to say thank you. Because many of you, I appreciate you all for the condolences and the well wishes from, me letting you guys in on, some personal things. Coach is not one to really put personal stuff out there. I'm just not. But I mean, I've taken some bumps and bruises over the past couple of months, and I'm still standing. I'm still standing. I thank the man up high. We're gonna leave it at that. I'm still standing. But I just want to tell you all, thank you. Thank you. It doesn't cost you a thing to say thank you. And I just want you to know that you appreciate it. But, like I said, man, Jay was a phenomenal man. Morehouse man at that. A Morehouse man at that. And, like I said, I was thinking, I taught that young man how to ride a bike. And we are, we are like a year apart. So it's a crazy story, man. It's a crazy story. But that was my guy, man. That was my guy. But, I want to send my condolences to his family, his lovely wife and his son, his grandma, his aunt, everybody. I'm sure they're probably watching this as well. So I want to send my condolences to them. I love you guys. Just waiting to hear back from you as far as all of the information on everything. And we're gonna work it out, try to do what we got to do to make sure we're in the place to be. But guys, we're going to go ahead. We're going to jump on in this thing. And we got some coaches to talk about. Yeah, we're going to talk about some coaches. We're going to talk about the monies. We got to talk about, Coach love talking about that money. The money. Yes, you got to talk about that money. Love talk about that money, man, because you know what? When the money don't make sense, we got a problem. We got a big problem. And the first coach we're going to jump on, let me not say jump on. That's not the right phrase to use here. The first coach we're going to talk about is none other than Mr. Nick Saban. Now, our favorite head coach is one that, he decided to take his talent and say, hey, I'm going to retire. I don't want to be bothered with none of this no more because things have just gotten out of hand as far as with how the sport of football is being managed from a standpoint from top to bottom. And when you talk about top to bottom, we talking about these NILs that got these athletes feeling like they are more empowered to get paid by their name, image, and likeness compared to them getting out there on the field and position themselves so that they can get to the next level, which is the NFL, to make the big dollars, to really get them big bags. But you got a lot of athletes out here that need financial stability. They need some financial help as far as the situations that they're in. These athletes didn't ask to be put in, the financial bowels that they're in based on how their families are structured. People, not being able to make money or them living in the conditions that they are in. They're looking for ways to help their families, move things ahead. I.e., when you look at a lot of these coaches, they're able to bounce around and get them big checks whenever they want to and decide they want to move on and go elsewhere. So why can't the athletes get just a little something, to put in their pockets? You get what I'm saying? So, the NIL came in this thing, and they didn't think this all the way through. When they opened the floodgates up in, 2021? They didn't really think this all the way through, guys. And you know what? It's getting ready to bite them in the ass. Oh, it's going to bite them in the ass big time. We're going, I'm telling you, strap in. Because some of you out there probably got some athletes that's getting ready to go into, college or getting ready to go into high school. You do know high school athletes now are able to get NIL deals in a lot of these states. So pay attention. That's all Coach Go said, pay attention. Because see, my new thing now is, as well as being able to educate, I'm going to entertain you. But we got to educate as well in some instances. You know what I'm saying? Because too many times we sitting out here, man, and we're trying to figure out exactly, okay, which way do we go? Have no means or ways to understand exactly how this game is being played and who's dealing from the deck. Because a lot of times the person that you think is dealing from the deck, they're not dealing from the top. They dealing from the bottom or in the middle. They're trying to find whatever which way they can to get the best hand. And that's what's going on right now. But guys, strap on in. Listen to me. Listen to your coach. Listen to your favorite coach. Now, y'all ready? Y'all, are you ready? Okay, here we go. Nick Saban stated, and I quote, he said, "What we have now is not college football as we now know it. You hear someone use the word student athlete. That doesn't exist." End quote. And that's by former head football coach of the University of Alabama Crimson Tide. Now, I understand where he's coming from with that statement. And the thing is, it took me back to when he made those statements, when he was sitting in front of the boosters and whoever it was he was having a meeting with, trying to get the donations to come into the university based on using Travis Hunter. Excuse me, Mr. Hunter, I apologize. I'm using you as the example, but I just have to, for this instance, I'm just using you as the example. So I do apologize. I don't mean to offend or upset or anything like that. So I'm just letting you know that right now, okay? But when he made those disparaging remarks about Travis Hunter, that was untrue. It didn't make sense. But now, as time has gone on and you begin to watch how all of this stuff is unraveling and seeing what these athletes are getting, I mean, they're getting big dollar bags, man, to play some college football. I mean, you got one, like I said, you got the quarterback over Tennessee. He got the big deal over there. You know what I'm saying? But there's levels to it. You know what I'm saying? As far as with the money of how he's getting that money. But in many instances, you don't have institutions that are able to pay these athletes in the manner in which, say, a Tennessee, Alabama, Miami, Florida State, hell, Colorado. I mean, Coach Prime said they don't have no money out there, but I'm gonna use Colorado as well. You got USC, UCLA, Oregon, Texas, LSU, Ole Miss. Well, Notre Dame just decided to get into the NIL thing, so we're gonna see how they're gonna work out with that as well. But you know, Penn State, you got a lot of big name schools out there that's paying these athletes. Before y'all get started, yes, the University of Michigan as well. I'm not going to sit here and not use the national champions. I'm not going to not put them in this thing too, because they are the national champions. And not only that, but yes, I'm sure they kicked out, they gave Quorum, was it $1 million, $3 million for them to stay this past season? So, you know, it's cool. They kicked out that bread. You get me? So check this out. So with all of that being said, I'm just like, okay. I had to look at where Coach Saban was coming from, because remember, we're no longer in the days of where you can palm an athlete, you know, a fistful of dollars or a couple $100 bills in their hand, and you know, you walk on and they got the money in their hand, they just go about their business, back to their locker or whatever, and keep it pushing. Or better yet, they go back to their locker, they get in there, get to putting their clothes on, look in their bag, they got an envelope full of money. Or somebody go to the dorm room and knock on the door and leave an envelope full of money right there in their hands and step on off and keep it pushing. You get what I'm saying? So they don't have to do that no more. They don't have to hide giving the money up. But the thing is, the good old NCAA, they want to find a way to try to pull you in just a little bit. They want to pull you in. See, Coach Saban, I'm not calling you a crybaby, but there's some crybabies out there that's upset because the athletes that they were able to get and keep them stockpiled within their programs, they can't do that no more. If them athletes are not touching the field, guess what? They're going somewhere else. And 9 times out of 10, when they go somewhere else, they're getting paid. The funny thing is, like I stated in one of the previous shows, you got athletes that are third on the depth chart, running back, stating that if I don't get 100,000, I'm gone. Man, look here. You understood where this was going to go. People can sit and say they was not expecting this. But remember now, the NCAA allow each state to generate their own rules. Generate your own laws as far as how you want to deal with the NIL issues. As long as they don't use the university school colors and the mascot, and the university can't pay them directly, we're fine. We don't care nothing about that. That was it. Now, guess what? You got a cluster. I'm going to say this Family Channel. I can't say that yet. You got a cluster. We're going to leave it as a cluster. We're going to leave it as a cluster, boy. Big steaming pile of cluster. Yeah, there you go. We're going to leave it with that. But the thing is, the NCAA tried to get slick. They figured that, you know what? We're going to put up some rules in this thing here. We're going to show you that you're not going to be able to move in the manner what you want to move with being able to negotiate with these athletes. Well, like I said before, Remember now, man, give you a little education. It's what we're going to entertain. We're going to entertain and get educated at the same damn time. And guess what? The Sherman Act. I asked you before, how many of you out there know about the Sherman Act? Raise your hand, raise your hand, raise your hand. I don't know nothing about the man. I told y'all, what did I tell y'all last week? I was in history class. Knocked out up in history class when we talk about the Sherman Act. But I keep saying, guys, there's so many different laws when it comes to being able to negotiate with corporations and things of that nature in different states. There's one in Florida, which there was a lot of chatter going back and forth online about FSU and the NCAA, where they don't want the, I think it's FSU and ESPN, where they didn't want the media rights shown for the masses to know exactly how they're getting paid. Well, guess what, Tulsa? That's what they say? Not treason. I forget the word that it was that they used. But the funny thing is, I'm like, guys, listen. It's too many people out here trying to dictate what's going on. ESPN don't understand that y'all draws is down now. Everybody, their mama coming across your behind. They coming across your behind with the paddle, and they whack it one time as they go on by, because guess what? Y'all done screwed over enough folks long enough for people to say, enough is enough. They tired, boss. They tired. But let me get back to this thing here. The NCAA call themselves trying to, stall out the athletes being able to negotiate with the universities prior to them committing based on, where they want to go to. If they want to go to the university or college of their choice based on how the NIL deals are going to be structured. But the NCAA said, no, we're not going to do that. Well, guess what? The judge came back, gave an injunction saying, no, they're going to be allowed to do that, because there's no way in the world you're going to sit here and try to prevent them from doing that. And that's based on that Sherman Act for the state of Tennessee and Virginia. Now, I say all that to say that these athletes are understanding that they hold a lot more power than what many people understand. You've heard, you heard Billis. You heard Mr. Billis say on ESPN how they need to just give these athletes contracts. Well, guys, guess what? If you're going to give these athletes contracts, you need to make sure that they are unionized. Because if you give them contracts, then that means you can write up any kind of boo-boo contract you want to, have these kids sign on the dotted line or force their signature, and when they don't have someone there that can make sure what they're signing is legit, and you still take advantage of them. No, if you're going to do that, if you're looking to go that route, then I would highly recommend that you make sure that these athletes have a union in place that's going to be able to back them when the foolery is going on. I mean, you got it going on in the NBA, the NFL, the NHL, the MLB. There's always some chaos going on, and they got people that's there to protect them from foolishness that goes on with the biggest entity, which is the major corporation, which is the shield, the shield, right? So NCAA is the shield. They're trying to find whatever way they can to protect themselves, making sure that they continue to keep getting what? The monies. They want all the monies that come in. They don't want nobody coming in and chop their knees out from up underneath them. How dare you think you can come in here and slow us down on getting our piece of the pie from these folks that, look, they need us. If there's no NCAA, then they can't get in here and get no NIL. Guys, you know what? Pause for the cause. Hey, y'all need to pause. Y'all gotten a lot besides yourselves. Multi-billion-dollar company. I'm still trying to understand, what do you offer? Y'all got a big old building. What exactly is it that you do other than sitting in the building talking about, we're going to pick the top 12 teams, not 12, but before the top 4 teams who are going to play for the national championship? I'm just asking, guys. I mean, the math ain't math. It's time for these kids to get the money that they deserve to have as far as, a financial stake in their name, image, and likeness. Cut the foolery out. That's all Coach said. But, like I stated before, the NCAA screwed themselves up when they decided to allow the states to govern themselves. Had they put the necessary parameters in place early on, we wouldn't even have this situation going on. But no one wanted to do the work. Hey, guess what? We wash our hands with it. Govern yourselves. Now, guess what? They're governing themselves. The collectives is coming in. You got different companies coming in, and you got people that's working with the universities trying to make sure that they get these athletes into their programs so that they can go ahead and make money off what? The media deals. Hey, they looking past the forest. They looking past the trees in the forest. They see a light at the end of that tunnel. The light at the end of that tunnel is for them to get there and get that bag. They trying to get their bag too. The only way they're going to get their bag is what? You got people that's going to be able to come into the program, compete, where it's going to make folks want to sit down and watch the product that they have. Without a product, guess what? You have no business. But, this is going to be one thing that definitely keep your eyes on. Like I stated before, Tennessee and Virginia, they use the state of Tennessee and the state of Virginia, they use the Sherman Act to slow down the NCAA on trying to hold up, allowing athletes to negotiate with the different NILs and collectives before they decide where they want to go, decide where they want to continue their collegiate sports career. And that's going to be a go-ahead. Like I said, right now, the judge in this case put the NCAA on hold, so they can't pause that right now. So we're going to see how things going to go with that. Watch how this thing take off. It's going to get real ugly because there's going to be some folks out here that's going to be mad and upset because things ain't moving the way they move it. And 9 times out of 10, I believe that's going to be the NCAA. So we'll see how that goes. But you know what? With all of that being said, we still talking about the monies now. We still talking about the monies. Because at the end of the day, there was something that came across the wire that I liked as far as what's going on with former NBA basketball player, NBA champion Kendrick Perkins of the Boston Celtics teamed up with Italy founder Chris Richard, who created a platform where the fans can invest in name, image, and likeness deals of their favorite college athlete. They call it NILY, N-I-L-L-Y. Go out there, check that out. Do a search for NILY online, and it will take you directly to that page. Matter of fact, I think I'll probably put a screenshot up here so that you can see it. So you can take a look at this thing and see exactly what they offer. And basically what it is, they're looking for players that's already committed to colleges and universities. They're looking to make their name, image, and likeness rights available to investors to get a percentage of the rights as they earn potential NIL deals and get investments from other companies into them as far as NIL, rights, name, image, and likeness rights. So what they do is how it's based, and I'm just loosely speaking on this, and that's why I say I'm going to put the screenshot up here so you can see it, for you to go to the website and get additional information on it. Basically, the investors get 25%, while the athlete themselves get 75% based on the income that's coming in. Now, what they do is they represent the athlete to get more investors to come in to invest into that athlete from a name, image, and likeness standpoint, as well as collectives and other companies that want to, invest in the athlete as well. And through that program, they can either invest directly into an athlete or they can invest into a team. So that's a great thing right there, where it allows everyone on the team to make financial, for them to earn financial gains based on their name, image, and likeness. It's like you're not leaving anybody out of being able to, achieve something, being able to earn something for their name, image, and likeness, being on the team, whatever have you. I mean, and I get it. That's a beautiful thing to have set up there for these athletes. So take a look at that and see what's going on with that. Because again, there's a lot of different platforms out there. You got Open Doors, and you got, Open Doors. I believe Colorado have one. I think it's called Buffs or something. Something Buffs or I forget the actual name of it. But there's a lot of different platforms out there. But this one, I believe, is like one of a kind, where you can actually invest in the athlete primarily, or you can primarily invest in the team itself, making sure that everyone is taken care of on the team. And from there, the investors get a percentage back based on the money that's coming in from NIL deals as well as collectives. And not only that, but these athletes get a upfront check that will allow them based on the amount that they are considered as far as what they would earn. Kind of what we see on on3.com, where you see the tag up at the top where it shows that this is the athlete's potential earning for the NIL, for the name, image, and likeness. So they got a whole setup on that. So go there and check that out. Hey, listen, I don't want to blow it. You see, I'm kind of babbling a little bit with this thing because I'm just like, God, dog, y'all are coming up with some stuff, boy, that's going to be spooky for these athletes. And people got to have the necessary individuals in place that's going to be able to help them navigate through to make sure they don't get caught out there with their pants down and they end up being a lose-lose for them instead of a win-win. So this, like I stated before, I'm show you the screen here. We can see the actual website, where to go, and also, like I said, take a look at this thing. This is crazy. But once again, you gotta give them a round of applause for the fact that people are thinking outside the box as to how the athlete can be helped. But now they're looking at like, okay, well, shoot, if I'm willing to invest in him, then let me get a piece of the pie that comes back as well. So go, like I said, go check this out. But guys, let me tell you this right now. When I heard this happen, and like I said, it's just whispers right now. I haven't heard. I haven't been given the green light on this. I haven't, and I haven't seen it, document like this is what it is. But all I'm gonna say is this: look up in the sky as a bird, as a plane. Alcorn is a dang on shame. How y'all let former head coach Fred McNair mosey on up out of Lorman, Mississippi, to head on over to the Boots to become an assistant coach with Southern University? Is this correct? Somebody please tune in, tap in, tell a friend of a friend. Leave me a comment below and let me know if what I'm hearing correct. I mean, I'm just saying, guys, Coach gonna say something that he normally don't say. I'm normally like, I'm not gonna touch that right now. I'll wait. But I think I'm gonna put my hand up against the stove to see if it's hot or not, just to find out just what's really going on here. And this is the thing. I know y'all got a great coach over there at Alcorn State University. The defensive coordinator became the new head football coach. I know some folks felt some kind of way about head coach Fred McNair looking to try and move over to Texas Southern, which he was not able to get the job and ended up with nothing. He ended up not being able to go back to Alcorn State, as well as not being able to get the Texas Southern job because they decided to go with the head coach that they went with over there. Now, I'm going to say this. Yeah, y'all about to get a new coach. Y'all about to get a new vibe from Coach. Coach he own one. Check it out. So I've been seeing like a few posts here and there where folks are talking about, with Fred McNair, he decided to leave, that's on him. Can I be candid with you? Fred McNair shouldn't have been put in a position to where he had to decide to go elsewhere, to be financially compensated for what he's been able to accomplish. I've said this before and I say it again. I can't tell nobody how to spend their money. That's not what I'm trying to do. But it's time to sit down and really reevaluate how much it costs to bring in a coach into your football program. And I say all of that to say that if Fred McNair was asking for something, maybe a couple $1,000s more or whatever, it should have been given to him. He earned it. He earned it. I can't say he hadn't earned it. I say all that to say this. The years where Alcorn State wasn't winning the championship when Fred McNair was the head football coach, he found a way to make sure that they was competitive and they didn't have a losing season. So with that being in mind, it's like you going into the kitchen and you're trying to put a meal together. And many of you out there probably can understand exactly where I'm going to go with this. How many times have your parent, mother, father, whoever went in, or big mama, or granny, or great grandmama went in the kitchen and she didn't have much of nothing in the kitchen, but she had to feed everybody in the house. And somehow, some way, when she brought that meal to the table, everybody sitting there looking like, wait a minute, how in the hell did she make all of this? And we didn't have this here. That's what I'm getting at, because we don't look at it from that standpoint. I understand football is a business of what have you done for me lately, or what was the last best thing that you did for me. But all I'm simply saying is that it come a point in time where you got to understand, sometimes it's better to hold on than to say, okay, we're just gonna go ahead and let it walk. Because I'm gonna be, you know what? I might not be the first, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If this season is not a success, and this season, Alcorn State Y'all out there and y'all draws get real tight. Based on the record that you have, and you're not competing for a SWAC championship, don't start them rumblings. Don't start them rumblings. Because I can hear it already with folks, man, God dog, man, y'all should have held on to Fred. But so many folks was like, man, we need to go and move on from that. Same thing go for Grambling. I ain't gonna leave Grambling out of there neither. I'm just saying, listen, understand the decisions that have been made. Everybody understands that these are the things that's going on. I'm not sitting here saying that the coaches are not going to be able to get the job done. I'm speaking to the fans, because the fans are going to be the ones that's going to be the first one to say, man, God dog, man, what we make this choice for? This is a bull jump, man. Y'all, and tell me I'm lying. Please tell me I'm lying. I want somebody to say, Coach, you full of MIT. M-I-T. That's what I said. I want somebody to say it. Because y'all know exactly how y'all gonna roll. Y'all know how y'all gonna roll. Y'all gonna be up in this thing turned up. Man, ain't no motherfucker. Man, how we do that? Bro, guess what? Here we go. So all I'm saying is that congratulations to the former head football coach over at Alcorn State University, Fred McNair. If the tea leaves that's circling around is correct, that Coach McNair is headed over to Southern University, ooh, that game gonna be juicy, boy. If them two on the schedule this season to play one another, I got to see that one. I got to make sure my schedule's straight. So I got to go back and look at some things and make sure some things is set up accordingly, so I can get out here to a couple of these places. Because like I said, I love all y'all, man. I love coming and visit different places to see what's going on, watch some good football, mingling and meet new people, and just sit down and have conversations based on the things that's happening out there in them HBCU streets. I love it. I love it. But I'm just speaking from a standpoint of listening to folks in the stands when they get to talking about, how hey man, this coach is booty. Oh, I can't believe he did blah, 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 blah. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, hey, don't do it. Don't do it. But listen, like I said, congratulations to Coach. If he's over there, cool beans. Hey, wish him the best. But the last, hey, we're going to go ahead. We're going to get ready to shut this thing down, because I know y'all like, Coach, you off the chain right now. But look, the HBCU NFL Combine, man, y'all a trip, boy. Some of y'all out there a trip. There's some folks out there that feel that, why in the world do they have a HBCU NFL Combine? Well, guys, let me break something down to you. The NFL, there's still some owners out there that haven't come to grips as far as with the athletes coming from HBCUs that can get out there and ball. I mean, you got Javion Howard over there, out there at the Combine. I mean, he getting off. You got Huggins. You got Hip Hill. You got Musa. You got Richards. You got Stevens. You got, what's the kid? It's a linebacker from Prairie View. Oh my God. That dude looked like a freight train coming down here looking to baptize anybody that got a ball in their hand. Listen, there's some great athletes that's in these HBCU programs, FCS HBCU programs, as well as Division II. I want everybody to know, because it's HBCU does not mean that it's not Division I, but there's some that's in Division II. So what I'm trying to get across is that these athletes are more than capable of getting out there on the field and showcasing their talents and letting everybody know what time it is. Because guess what? You got that young man over there, is it Washington? That's over at Kansas City with the Kansas City Chiefs. Kansas City Chiefs, two-time NFL Super Bowl champion. Fayetteville State University. Emmanuel Wilson over at Green Bay was toting that tater. He was toting that rock, man, in the playoffs. So all I'm saying is, folks got to wait. They got to open their eyes up and see it's athletes out there. It's all about who's going to give them a chance. You got the young man from Bowie State that's playing over there playing for the Commanders. He's on the defensive line. I think it's a defensive end. You got that? Come on, man. Another D2 athlete. I'm just showing I'm giving the example that there's athletes that's out there that's balling, that can do some things in that NFL. They can get over there and play in the NFL if given the opportunity. I understand everybody look at the Power Fives and say, hey, they the cream of the crop. They are tier one. Matter of fact, it's like they top flight of the world, Craig. No, they're not. No, they're not, because you're starting to find out that you got some 3 stars, some 2 stars, some 1 stars, some no stars. You got a couple of them probably had some negative stars that's over there playing some ball right now in the NFL. So all I'm simply saying is the athletes need to be given a chance. I mean, think about it. The former Jackson State head football coach, who's now over Coloarado, Deion Sanders, said while he was at Jackson State, if the NFL was to allow 5 more players per position to go to the NFL draft, how would it hurt? It wouldn't hurt them. But see, you got so many people who they don't really, it's like they don't want to be bothered with that. It's like everybody has this tunnel vision where they don't want to open up and see the wide picture. They don't want to see the wide view. They just want to see here. And that's fine. We'll go ahead. We'll rock with Mr. Shaq Davis as well as Mr. Doug Williams, who put this thing on over there for the HBCU Legacy Bowl, and which I appreciate them for that. I want to say thank you, because without that platform, there wouldn't be a platform for these athletes to get out there and showcase their talents and skills. I appreciate them for doing that, because without them, you wouldn't see a lot of these athletes having the opportunity to get out there and at least get a look. You get what I'm saying? But they are getting a look now, and that's a beautiful thing. Now we got to find ways to increase the intensity, to get more eyes on these athletes from these NFL scouts to come check them out at these HBCU programs when they practicing, bringing them in there, getting them scouts to come in there, come visit and see what's happening. And I believe it's going to happen. Like I said, sometimes we got to, I understand we want to get that microwave. We want to hit 20 seconds and boom, we got instant whatever. But sometimes we got to walk the mile to get to where we're trying to go. And there's no problem with that. We're just going to walk the damn mile. And when we get there, guess what? We're going to appreciate it even more. But guys, Coach, go ahead and get up on out this thing. But like I always say, be the one and lead.